Spill your guts. Spill your beans.
That's not what this podcast is.
Spilling.
Truths, not tea.
3, 2, 1, back in the room.
Are we having that accent the whole time?
No, it was a one-off. Part of the character.
What character is that?
Are you ready for this? Welcome to Spill, the podcast we wish we'd had when we were growing up.
Some very candid conversations on life in your 20s and 30s, the ups and downs, and the messiest parts.
But essentially, we just chat your shit.
So welcome to the chaos.
I think someone should take this off me.
Yeah, she's having a power trip. Give it here. Oh, it's quite heavy, isn't it?
Do we want that in shot?
That's her saying we don't want that in shot. Someone please move
Chris
it.
didn't want it there either. I keep wanting to call Chris Will and I don't know why, but it's not your name. You could suit Will, innit? Right. Are you ready for this? Because it's been a while since I've done this.
What are you about to do?
Spill it, Billy. I actually want to write a song for the podcast.
I thought you were about to say I really want to write a song for me.
Well, it would be called Spilly Billy.
Okay, what's the lyrics?
The lyrics I got so far is, Spill it, Billy, you know you're so silly, because you walk into things all the time and knock things over every day.
I do think I've got dyspraxia.
Do you know what else I've noticed about you? You are so shit at timekeeping. It's unbelievable.
Are you joking?
No, you're so bad.
Who was ready outside the house this morning 3 minutes before I needed to be?
I gave you 4 reminders.
No, I didn't ask for those reminders. I didn't need those reminders. I was ready.
But like your perception of how much time exists is wrong.
100%, yeah. Also, my perception of how long things take me is completely warped.
Yeah.
I think I can do like ground zero, get ready to leave full glam in 40 minutes. I can't. It takes me an hour.
No.
Yeah, it is a problem. I just choose to ignore it.
Yeah, that's right. We love a self-aware queen.
Where were you going with this?
That was just my intro.
Lyrics. I think the dyspraxia is definitely real, though. My spatial awareness is way worse than my timekeeping.
What's dyspraxia?
I don't really know. I've heard other people say it, so I'm sort of adopted it.
That's like,
but it's a really bad spatial awareness. Like, you spill things, you like walk into stuff, knock into stuff. Like, you don't realise the distance between you and like people and or inanimate objects.
Is that legit, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a thing.
I've got
I trip over a lot.
I've got the one with numbers.
That is so broad. I don't
like
know
you know
what you
dyslexic with words, there's one for numbers and that's me.
Oh, well, don't we know it, sweetheart?
Like if you say to me, oh, what's 10 plus 15, my brain just starts shutting down.
What is it?
30.
No, it is not.
25.
Yeah, you knew that though.
Well, I did once I had time to work it out, yeah.
So, what was it the other day when he said we get 20% off something and you went, wow, a quarter?
25% is a quarter, I do know that.
Yeah, I'm glad we've made some progress in there.
What's your spill of the week, lady?
My spill of the week is a big one this week. Dun, dun, dun. I am leaving Richmond.
Oh my good Lord.
I never thought this day would come because I truly believed I would meet someone in Richmond that I would marry.
And that, my sweetheart, is why you are single. Because everyone who lives in Richmond is already wifed up.
It is true. I was looking for a sad divorced dad.
You ain't going to find that
there. So yes, I am leaving Richmond. I don't really know what I'm doing with my life, TBH.
Are you embracing that though? And I'm...
A little bit, yeah. I'm scared about it and feel very overwhelmed by the prospect of not like having a base and being in my home.
But you don't enjoy bases.
I like having the comfort of one.
But you've got that at home, right?
Home.
Yeah.
Leicester home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you are as attached to a base as you think you are. Mate, you haven't even been in Richmond this year. I don't know why you're sad about leaving.
I've been there for a few nights.
Been on a fucking airplane.
Yeah, it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 really great years.
Are you going to cry?
No.
Big part of your personality, the fact that you live in Richmond.
Yeah, I'm actually the personal PR for Richmond.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Billie, I live in Richmond.
I take people on the tour. We go to David Attenborough's house, we go to Tom Hardy's house.
Yeah, you never took me to Tom Hardy's house.
I did, I pointed out multiple times.
I wanted to go outside his front door.
Yeah, that's where we stopped.
Is he married?
Yeah.
See?
We're basing all of Richmond on Tom Hardy.
If he's married.
Did I tell you about the time he told me off?
Yeah, when you walked too close to him
no.
with your dyspraxia.
Or when I was swearing on the phone.
Oh no.
He was with his kids and he was like, can you please stop that?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But then I thought I knew him because we'd had this interaction. And I saw him again the next day and I waved at him. And he went like this. Nope.
I bet you
literally
looked so
ignored me.
fit angry.
No,
Depends what you're into, I suppose.
not that. What's your spill of the week, girly pops?
My spill of the week is I went to a little audition a couple of weeks ago.
Did you know she's a star?
No, I'm not. But I've decided that, obviously I've said to you I want to pursue or try and pursue acting again. So I auditioned for a play.
Which one?
Not a musical, not a jazz hands musical.
Oh, like serious stuff.
Yeah, it's called Blood Brothers. You should know it.
I do know it. Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Did you love it?
Took me. I actually also think we did a school production of Blood Brothers.
Yeah, a lot of girls did GCSE.
Yeah.
I did it for GCSE as well.
It's quite sad, no?
Very sad.
Yeah. That's a big step change for you.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I've not found out if I've got the part, but I'll let you know.
What part have you auditioned for?
I auditioned for Linda.
Who's Linda?
So basically the parts are, there's the main parts. Well, there's quite a few main parts. There's twins, right? Mickey and Eddie. Mickey is from like Liverpool, he's Scouse, and then Eddie is grown up and he's like really posh. And I don't want to ruin the whole story, but Linda is Mickey's girlfriend.
This is all coming back to me now about the conversation. Big banger. And what was the feedback that you got on your audition?
That my accent was sick.
Go on then, do it.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I'll get shy.
As if.
No, I have gone a bit shy because there's a lot of fit kids in the room and all of a sudden I have recoiled. And Will/Chris is looking at me fucking direct down the camera lens. I can't do it. I simply can't. But if I get the part, I'll do it.
You have segued into a deep Somerset accent.
No, that was put on, see?
Right.
But if I get the part, I'll do it. How about that?
All right, deal.
That's a deal. But yeah, do you know what? I really enjoyed it. And also I went to like a new little company. I kind of just turned up, really enjoyed it. Felt like, oh, I love this.
I cannot like fathom how you do that, because that is so far out of my comfort zone to stand on a stage in front of random people and like not be guaranteed something at the end. Like, let me just try out for this. Ugh, absolutely not.
Oh, I think you should really work on that. Because I think hobbies are so good. Like the thing about
hobbies.
Yeah, but I think hobbies just for enjoyment are really important.
What do you think I play paddle for? I'm not good at it.
Yeah, you are really good at it.
Average.
You play paddles, you can tell everyone you play paddle.
I'll go to play paddle to meet the boys.
Yeah. How's that going?
Terribly. But my serve's smashed now.
No, I just think it's really important to do things just for the enjoyment of it. You know?
Bring back hobbies.
Yeah, so like with no end game, no reward, just because you don't have to be good at everything.
My brain says otherwise.
Yeah, no, I think it's really important. And I believe that if I did have kids or do have kids one day, I'm really going to push them to just do like... It's hard to believe I wouldn't tell my kid if they were shit at something, but I would let them do it. So like if my kid wanted to be a theatre star and she was shit, best believe she'd know about it.
But I think other people would maybe tell her. That's what I mean about the audition process. Like you're the kind of like, you're putting yourself in this really vulnerable position for rejection. More rejection than acceptance, right?
Yeah, but it's such great character building. Like think how many times I've been told no.
True.
Many a time.
True.
And I'm not even doing it professionally. Think of the professionals.
Oh, ask these guys.
Real sad look. Maybe we should have prefaced this entire podcast episode. All parents shall not listen.
Yeah. They're banned. Maybe this season.
If we're going deeper this season, they all need to tune out. They could silent download so we get the figures, but...
They can support from afar. They can just buy the merch.
We're going to talk about dating standards. Ooh.
That's a given an oi oi.
Oi oi.
So I think we touched upon this briefly a bit in season 1 when we talked a little bit about how you and DB came to be.
Yeah.
But we're going broader this time. I actually wrote a column about it not so long ago about male and female dating standards, because I feel like the discrepancy is so huge.
Massive.
That like women have to be like kind of perfect now. And I don't know whether that's like a social media thing or an overuse of app thing or like just overexposure to this ideal version of women. But it feels like it's impossible to get to this standard that is like okay for dating. Because you have to be too many things. You can't be all of them. It's like you have to be smart, but like not nerdy intelligent. You have to be really beautiful, but like in the kind of standard way of beauty. You have to be like fit and athletic and fun, but like not too fun and not overpowering, and feminine, but like have your own thing going on, and you still need to be like a million other things. Whereas for men, you just have to be 6 foot, that's it.
I disagree. And this is the one time that I do question my level of feminism, right? Because I think the expectation on men for dating is completely unattainable also.
Well, maybe it's both fucked.
Yeah, I do think it's fucked both ways. Oh, innuendo.
I'm not sure it's an innuendo if you say it's an innuendo.
Yeah, I
just meant to be ...
Well, anyway, I think that when I hear single friends talk about men, I am like literally jaw on the floor. No wonder you're single, sweetheart.
What do you think about when I talk about men?
You're different. You are quite, I would say that you are quite like realistic.
Yeah.
And also your opinion on how a man should look in your life, like the attributes you want of a man are great.
It's also never really been like a physical tick list.
Yeah, I will put my hands up and say that I have spent a lot of my life being shallow. 6 foot for me was a...
So weird, isn't it? Because it's never like, height has never come into, maybe it's because I'm short, come into effect there, but like I've got friends who have like paid on apps specifically so they can filter 6 foot and above.
Yeah, see, that physically makes me feel ill now.
But they're tall girls.
Yeah.
That's just something that like you are allowed preference in dating.
Yeah.
And I think that's completely fine to say, actually, I do prefer someone who is aligned with things that I like cyclists want to date other cyclists because they can like
talk about
scream
cycling
over Strava all the time. But I think it's
that was funny.
Well, I hate how you're fucking shocked every time I say something.
No, but that was
funny.
like a super good one.
But it's more like when the preferences turn into perfect.
Yeah, but if you think of all the women who only want to date 6 foot men, right? That's such a visual preference. I don't believe that I hear men say, only want to date a size 10. In my opinion, I don't. Do you? We mix with different sorts of boys.
Yeah, toxic ones in my life.
Yeah, mine are all gay, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
But I just think that the physical preference for men, as in what women want of men, is like borderline. It's just got out of hand. You know, like the whole, we've spoken about it again a little bit before about the ick thing. I just can't get my head around like how the colour of someone's socks could be like, he gave me the ick. What?
But
Grow
it's not.
up.
I think like people just use that as a front. It's more like, I think that's a bigger reflection of their own insecurities.
No, that we spoke about. Nobody wants this. There's a whole episode where she gets the ick because he wore a blazer over his sports suit.
Yeah, but it's not really that, is it? That's like disguising what the actual ick was, is that he was being like overly friendly to the parents.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is that the ick has become so normalised.
True.
Adam Brody could have turned up in an inflatable hot dog costume. That wouldn't give me the ick.
You're ick free.
When we watched Nobody Wants This on the ick episode, DB went, do I give you the ick? I went 18 times a day, babes.
But I think that's normal, right? But I guess you're saying it's no reason to like not...
Yeah, I think that's...
follow the line of a relationship.
Yeah, there are definitely things where you think, oh, God, what are you doing? Or what are you wearing? Or is that going to stay that way? Or are you going to do your hair? Or are you going to brush your teeth today? Like, whatever.
It's so funny because all those questions can be completely come back to you.
But
You're going to wash your hair today?
My hair's clean.
No, I know. It's just not always, is it?
No, not always. But I also think that when you go down that sort of like line of thinking, you think of yourself to a certain standard, which, okay, isn't a bad thing. Like, you can walk around thinking you're the bee's knees and you only deserve to have the bee's knees in return, but it's got bee's knees about the wrong things.
I do think it's all become a big problem.
Yeah, I do
I think
too.
dating standards in general have become like so extreme and so unattainable that you're like, where if this is what they're looking for, maybe men are thinking the same thing. If this is what they're looking for, how is that possible? How am I ever going to measure up to that?
Yeah.
So I'm like, tap me out.
Don't
want to do it.
In the honour of growth from season 1 to season 2, what would be your ideal?
Ideal man or ideal relationship or ideal what?
Ideal meat.
Ideal meet in a pub. Real life setting. I don't want to do the apps.
In a pub?
Yeah. Casual.
How
Chill.
often do you go to a pub?
Once every 6 or 7 months.
Right.
No, I'm joking. I do actually go more. Once every 6 or 7 weeks.
See, I think you'd be so much better off meeting someone at a paddle club.
I mean, that is the plan. That is the grand master plan.
But do you go to paddle clubs, or do you just invite your hot male friends to come and play paddle with you, so therefore everyone looks at you and thinks you're taken anyway, so therefore you're not going to fucking meet someone? Have you ever thought about it like that? No. Yeah, so I think we should join a club, and I think we should appear as single, so that then we can...
So maybe I should go on like a girls' club.
No.
No, as in like...
Well, unless
like
you've changed things and you've not told me.
Like just a girls' day out, and then we meet like a boys' day out paddle crew.
No, that'd be carnage.
That sounds more fun than...
You just want to go to a mixed paddle club, like a mixed...
That just gives me fear.
Why?
Because it feels like that feels alien now. Everyone's removed so much of like the social element to dating, where you would just go up and talk to people in a bar, in a club, in a pub, wherever it was, on the tube. I remember when, not naming names because he'll hate that, but like a very good friend of mine lived in London and we worked really close to each other. Everyone who knows him will know that I'm talking about him now. I have never known confidence in a man like it. We'd be on the tube together. He would walk across the carriage up to another girl and be like, "You okay?" Da da da.
Yeah, and there is nothing sexier than confidence.
Get their number, and I was like, "You are joking. She's a 10. You're a 6 at a push."
That's
and he's
nasty.
like, "Watch me." Every single time would convert. Every time.
Do you know what that is? That is not being fearful of rejection.
Which is probably my biggest fear.
Let's get you to some auditions.
Absolutely not. No.
It is. It's the fear of rejection. Like being able to accept that the man might say, "Oh, sorry, no," or "I'm sorry, I'm in a relationship," or "No, I don't want to give you my number."
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm sat here giving it the big talk. I would never. My thing, like when I've ever met a man in real life, it is the banter or like the chat, and that's you as well. You underestimate your ability because you friend zone yourself straight away.
Yeah, it's my number one skill actually, friend zoning.
Yeah. You're getting better though.
Trying. It's really hard. Like I am trying to like not immediately friend zone. I've got hair on my face. It's really bothering me. Has it gone?
Can't even see, mate.
It's irritating me. Yeah, I am trying to get better at not thinking of myself only in a friend entity.
Yeah.
And that's probably, that feeds into the dating standard thing, whereas you have to think about yourself as a romantic.
Desirable.
As a desirable. It makes me so uncomfortable to say it. Like physically uncomfortable to say it, as a desirable person. And I think where like friends have only known me really in one environment, like that is the Billie who talks to everybody and makes friends with everybody and is really good at that. And I have always had like a strong bank of male friends too.
Yeah.
So they've seen me like interact with men constantly and at like a banterful level. But I think their standard of me dating is almost low, and that sort of reflects on me. But like bothers me as well. Like recently I was out with friends and they're like, "Come on, get on the apps." I was like, honestly, they're just terrible, dire. And they're like, "Show us who's liked you." And I hadn't even been on my Hinge in ages. Anyway, literally just handed over my phone, gave them the app. They went on the liked thing and it was like somebody who I don't find physically attractive. And that's the whole problem with the app, is that everything is designed to be around physicality. And they were like, "Oh my God, he looks like so sweet." He didn't look sweet. I was like, "Is this what you think I'm worth, just based entirely on physicality?"
Yeah.
And they were just like, "What? Like, why would you not date him?" And I was like, "It's just that I don't find him attractive." But the conversation almost steered into a way where it was like, "You should, because that's where you are on the bar."
Do you think?
Yeah.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, and I was a bit like, would you have said the same thing to one of our other friends in the group who is by like society standard, like blonde, tall, thin, beautiful? Would that have been, you would have been like, "Absolutely not, fucking bin."
Yeah.
But like, because I'm not those things, should I just accept that I'm not allowed a preference?
Yeah.
And that's where I think the standards are fucked. because we've created these like pools that people exist in where like cross-pollination can't happen.
Yeah, so a 10 with a 10, a 5 with a 5, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Swim with your people.
Yeah. And that's, I think that narrative is like damaging, really, because it means that your entire worth is based on your looks as opposed to who you are as a person. And I think you maybe felt like that a bit when you got into your relationship, that things didn't match up in the expectation that you had for it or you had for yourself.
I do agree with you, and I think, I mean, we are becoming more and more and more image focused as a society anyway, so that's gonna spill out into, see what I did that?
It did, smart.
Into dating. But I definitely had, you know, a preference of what my forever person would look like. And it's so funny that the preference of what they look like dominated what they would be like.
Yeah.
And the man that's come into my life was the presence of everything I wanted him to be like.
But isn't it funny what your priority was before?
Oh, hugely. And I do think that's a reflection of who and where you are as a person as well.
Yeah, true.
And
I did really struggle with that.
Yeah, I remember when I was with my ex, we took a really good photo together, and everyone used to say like, oh my God, your kids will be so beautiful. And we had a lot of, I guess, image-based compliments, which is lovely. But my partner now, I was nearly sick the other night because we were laughing so much before we went to sleep. Like, I thought I was going to throw up because the pain in my stomach was so strong. And like, it's got to the stage now where if a third eye appeared on his head, like, I'd still choose that over being able to take a beautiful photo with someone.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm making out like he's a troll. He's not at all. I think he is handsome.
Yeah,
and I'm very
is.
attracted to him. But by society standard, he isn't like tall, dark, and traditionally...
What Hollywood paints the picture of this perfect man.
But then neither do I. So, like, what right did I have to swan around thinking that I should have someone over 6 foot looking like perfection when, like we have also discussed, I washed my hair for 9 days the other week?
That's disgusting.
Do you know what I mean?
You give him the ick.
I don't think I do. Actually, to be honest.
That's our self-aware queen.
I think he wakes up every morning, blessed be the day, with that mouth tape on.
Here she is.
But you do have to... It's so funny that you end up having to work on yourself and your own core beliefs before you can then visualise and see people differently in terms of dating. Like, I don't find the same things attractive that I used to find attractive. And that's because when you've experienced like a love on a deeper level, and that's not just a romantic love, like you can have that in friendships as well. I know I think all my friends are like the most beautiful people in the world, but that's because I know my friends, like I know them on a deep level, and I think the same happens in a romantic love. Yeah,
but the problem happens in it, not problem, but like where it's more difficult to kind of maintain that feeling is that those people don't know you. So like, yes, I can not comfortably accept it, but accept it when you say nice things about me because you've known me your entire life. We've been in each other's lives for, what are we on, 28 years now? Something, a long time.
27 years.
But that's so different because you know every facet of that person and you can see the good in them. But when you're going in it green to someone who doesn't know all those things, like I can't change the way I look immediately to somebody, so I can't. You're like, I feel like I'm already on the back foot because I can't show them that like I'm fun and funny and charming and all those things that I'm like only a smidgen of, but they make up a person because everyone's just at face value.
I wonder what would happen if dating apps were removed. Like, I really think we should bin them.
Well, people are like not moving away from it, but like the dating apps have realised that people don't want to just connect online because it feels so meaningless. Like you're literally sat there like, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's
well, I met
game.
my ex-husband, I met him online.
Was it Tinder?
Yeah, back in the day before.
That really ages you.
Yeah, I know. And also, I was trying to be a slut, so I went on
How
Tinder.
How did that go?
Not very well.
You went on one date?
I went on 3.
Whoa, big slut.
I ain't going to disclose how much of a slut I was on this podcast, but Rest assured.
Maybe you should.
It's only 6 months.
Give me a tip, sweetheart. What's your go-to karaoke song, Alex?
Don't You Want Me Baby?
Don't you want me,
It's a crowd
baby?
pleaser.
Yeah. Or Does Your Mother Know by ABBA? Do you know that?
No,
That,
I hate
can
ABBA.
see
That is a tune. Yeah,
I can
that is
see you
really-
smashing out of the fucking bar.
Brilliant. That is a really good tune, that one. It's a bit creepy.
How does it go? I actually don't like ABBA. Sorry.
No.
Unpopular opinion.
All of it's about confidence. Like, I look back to those times and my most recent time of being single, and I felt so confident.
I saw it in you. It was
Yeah.
like, not toxic, it was intoxicating.
100% it was toxic.
No, but it was quite intoxicating. Like, I remember that our first Nashville trip where you guys kind of hadn't really confirmed what you were or what you weren't. And I was like, fuck me, this girl walks into a bar like she owns the place.
Yeah, what's happened? Because I wouldn't now.
Would you not?
No, not now.
But
Confidence
it's
is in
different
the
kind
bin.
of confidence.
Yeah, and also I think, not to get real deep, but when you are going through therapy on like a regular level and you are sort of like uncovering so much about yourself, I think there is definitely that sort of like buffer period before you fully emerge.
Is that where you feel like you're at?
I do feel like I'm at the bottom of the pit in terms of my confidence, yeah.
I mean, we should do a whole episode on confidence, actually. And I think we've got like a big pan for it, because in some aspects of my life, I'm really confident. Like, stick me on a stage in front of people to talk about something, fine, can do it. Stick me in a room full of people where I could get rejected 100 times over. Hate it, don't want to do it.
But you just
Would rather run
underestimate
away.
yourself, though, because you are really good in that setting.
At friends.
Yeah, fair.
But like putting myself in a vulnerable position to be romantic with somebody is just something I've just shut it off so early.
And confidence is the most attractive thing.
I
Like,
know, it's
were
a
you there
problem.
for that conversation in Sicily about Marika?
No, I'm in love with Marika.
Yeah, we all are. She
She's
is the
stunning human
epitome
being.
of beauty, like inside, outside, probably upside down, like everything. She is so beautiful.
She's just so cool, calm and collected,
But do
isn't
you know
she?
what's like the most attractive thing about her? I think it was the first time she spoke back to my dad. And I was like, "Meow."
I was going to say her dimples.
Yeah, she doesn't look, evidently she looks like Julia Roberts, but she is just so confident
Yeah.
and like fiery. And I do think that's really attractive.
Oh, I completely agree. I feel like I'm working on it. It's just like improving, but it's more like is tiny baby steps.
Yeah. I also remember a conversation that me and DB had in the very, very early stages. And I don't know if I've told you this before, but obviously we met quite quickly and I'd just come out of a 9-year relationship, which in my head and by the rule book I was reading from at the time, I had this plan that I was obviously going to be single for X amount of time and go be
I remember the plan.
Yeah.
We'd had that slag summer penned in.
Literally, like, go be a silly little slut, do all of these things. I hadn't even had a one night stand, so I was like, listen, got to tick that off the fucking box.
I did tell you, it was overhyped.
Yeah, proper. And we had this conversation where I look back on it now and I am fully exposing myself here, but I, in so many words, kind of said to him, okay, there is clearly something between us and I'm not denying that, but I'm not ready to like commit to this.
Because you thought there was something better around the corner. You thought the grass was greener.
Not necessarily something better, but I wasn't convinced, like, by the rule book, the time hadn't allowed all of those options to be in front of me. And it was in his response that I ended up thinking, fair play, that was hot. And he literally said to me, I am madly like obsessed with you. I think you're the most beautiful woman ever, but I am not going to sit here and play a real life version of Love Island, so take it or leave it. And I was like, all right, take your clothes off then, come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, the confidence in him to have that much self-worth when I was outright being a prick and being shallow and being like that way inclined, I found the confidence in that so attractive.
Yeah, don't chase.
No, being with him and having this sort of love has definitely, you know, pulled me up on my own bullshit quite a lot.
It's a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why sometimes when I hear single women talk about dating and relationships, I do sit there and roll my eyes as if it wasn't me 2 years ago.
But do you not think men are having those same conversations though?
Some men, yeah. Some men, yeah, but I also think that there are a lot of really like sad, lonely, single men who just feel like they can't get a look in because they're not 6 foot, or they, they don't have a six pack, or they don't earn a certain amount of money, or all of these like really difficult things to tick off in one checklist.
Looking for a man in finance.
Yeah, like that fucking stupid thing that went viral. Looking for a man in finance, 6 foot trust fund. I'd fucking run a mile with all those 3 things. 6'5", too tall.
Blue Eyes Trust Fund. They did do you see they did like an actual poll of people that worked in finance that were all those things, and it was like 2 people.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was like 2 people in all of London or whatever.
Finance bros ain't it.
No.
Been there, done that.
Have you? Oh.
Finance ain't my thing. We work that
I don't think as accountants as finance bros. I think it's like stockbrokers.
Yeah, no. It's very different.
Bros.
But anything to do with numbers, I think I'm going to steer clear
Yeah,
off.
I'm not sure your number skills are up to scratch for those boys.
No, not at all. So, in essence, what are we saying?
It's fucked on both sides.
We're not saying lower your standards. We're saying
open your eyes wider.
Or like change your standards. Like have high standards in the way they treat people, not in what socks they wear.
I think you're getting a bit stuck up on the icks. I'm not talking about icks as the part of the dating standard problem.
Oh.
I'm talking more the like this desire for that person to be perfect. Not on an ick level, but it's just like, well, like she's pretty, but she's not like this, or she's smart, but she's not like this. Like where people are actually at compared to what they think they should have, the disparity is overwhelming.
Disparity, that's a lovely word.
Thank you.
I wonder what your opinion is on. Oh, I don't know how deep you want to go. Go deep.
Yeah.
How you think men perceive you. That's what I was going to say.
I don't think they do, full stop. Like, I don't think I even enter the periphery.
Even though they're legit on the other end of the phone saying otherwise.
That's different. Because they've obviously got to know how stellar my personality is.
But that's what I mean. Like, do you not then get to a point where you're like, oh, okay, they are attracted to me?
Yeah, but I think where like I've conditioned myself to think I'm unattractive, I think therefore I've like wiped out the standards entirely. So I'm like, you know what, fine. Actually, there's no deserving of standards. So that everyone's right when they're like, actually, you should just go on a date with this person you don't find attractive because, you know, you should just do that. Then I'm like, okay, sure, because what standard am I allowed in the position that I'm in?
You got to rewrite your own standards, Bills. Don't be letting other people tell you what your standards are.
I mean, I'm not looking for a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes, that's for sure.
She's looking for a man in paddle, 5'8".
Or above.
Stable
or
job. 5'8", stable job.
Emotionally intelligent.
That is the sexiest thing, really.
Self-aware. Kind.
Goes to therapy.
Sure. I use sports as therapy, so they're allowed that too.
Okay, we're not going to cross actual therapy to sports therapy, but it's great if they're into sports because they can do that with you. Hobbies.
Hobbies, important. But yeah, dating standards are hard. It's hard, and I feel like it gets harder the older that you are, because that's another factor. The older that you get, the less you're allowed to have those standards because you're like just supposed to mop up whatever's left.
Yeah. I definitely have these conversations with my mum because my mum's in her early 60s and she's single, and she definitely feels like people think you should just like almost be grateful for what's available.
That's how I feel. That's how it feels right now for me, where like any attention I get, I should just be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because I don't hit any of these other standards that is like, oh, I found this person, but I'm like, but you already look like a fucking supermodel, so sure you did, no problem. I like, what happens to the people that don't look like that? Well, you should just be grateful. That's like, that is how it feels.
Yeah.
And what was like upsetting was that I was like, oh, my friends think that too, that I shouldn't be allowed to like be with somebody who isn't just who is more than me.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the Rebel Wilson podcast I listened to?
Briefly.
It was so interesting. Like, she basically grew up thinking and feeling about herself the exact same things you've just described. She didn't lose her virginity until she was 35. And I think...
She was super famous by then too, wasn't she?
Fair fuck sharing that to the world. Like, do you remember in amongst the years of when everyone was losing their virginity and it was like this huge big thing?
Yeah.
And that was also like is desirability a word?
Yeah.
Desirability contest. Like,
massively, yeah.
And she didn't lose hers until she was 35, and she dedicated an entire year of her life to finding love. And she went on loads of dates. She exposed herself to what that felt like, and then ended up, well, she actually kissed a woman in a film and then was like, I like
Light bulb
girls.
moment.
And she is happy. That smile is real,
True.
ear to ear.
True.
So
It's a process.
you got to believe your own standards.
Well, I definitely feel like this is progress from where I was.
Massively.
That I'm like, I like even entertaining conversations with people to be like, oh, I want to date you. I'm like, instead of being like, why? I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah, you're like, okay, sure, but why? Rather than just, but why?
One of them is always like, oh, I've kind of figured out you overthink things. Hey, I'm like, get used to that, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm really proud of you. There's a lot of progress there.
Thanks so much.
I was thinking yesterday,
What?
how weird it's going to be when you do meet someone.
I think about it a lot in the context of like, how are they going to fit in with the rest of my life? Because that's chock-a-block.
Oh, don't worry about that.
No, but what if they don't get on with my friends?
Well, what a stupid thing to think about now.
Yeah, but what if they don't? What if our lives are really different and they don't do that?
Trust me, I have spent the last year of my life thinking like, this man and my family were raised in different galaxies, let alone planets. And he got on, like, literally, I looked over and he was chatting to everyone.
Chatting to Baz a lot.
He loved Baz.
They really got along, didn't they?
Yeah, so you can overthink stuff and there's just no point because it might not even play out like that.
True.
The chances are also the people you attract are the people you attract for a reason. So you attract your friends for a reason, you're going to attract your lover boy.
Yeah, but I'm trying to look beyond the ordinary realm of where I've met people because that's like not worked out so great for me.
Well, yeah, Richmond ain't it.
It's not
Maybe
just
this is the new thing. Maybe you're going to move. Where are you moving
This
to?
is half the reason why I want to move though.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, like I haven't met, not that I haven't met anybody. I haven't like put myself in a position to meet anybody because I've been so lucky that my life is like full from so many people. I never really felt like I was missing out on like a big chunk. Like some people are relationship people. They can't be without a person.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite in that I'm so used to only really thinking about me and what I want.
Yeah.
I actually find it difficult to like, I was texting my other best mate yesterday being like, fucking hell, chirping boys is a full-time job. I haven't got time for that.
Very tight. Especially
like,
when there's a couple on the go.
4 or 5. I'm like,
Fucking hell. I was just going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, so you've got to do a Rebel Wilson. You've got to dedicate now.
Well, this is what next year is.
The year of love.
It's actually a year of adventure.
Oh. Adventurous love. Sounds so exciting.
Sounds way spicier than it's going to be.
Wow.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm going to stop before I get too shy.
What shows did you do?
Well, the only West End one I did was Bad Girls the Musical.
Oh, yeah. That's a play, right?
Bad Girls the Musical.
Oh, yeah. So that would be quite... that would be quite telling that it was a musical.
I feel like Chris is really getting an idea of how much you listen to things other people say.
What's your worst date story ever?
It was a finance bro, so I feel like it was already started off pretty bad. This is when I just kind of moved to London, and so I spent a lot of time in Clapham, which was my first mistake.
Bit chuggy.
Very chuggy. Anyway, met this guy, and he was like, "Let's go for dinner." I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Let's go to Duck and Waffle." I was like, "Whoa."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Big bucks.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, I don't know if I want to say this story.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
No, I don't think I can.
Why?
I feel like it's just not great.
Alex Cooper spoke about her blowjob tips on her podcast and she just interviewed Kamala Harris, so come on.
No, I've gone shy.
Have you actually?
Yeah, you do yours.
Did we do this in season 1 though? The second date I did in the period of being single before I met my husband, we went to a restaurant that he'd suggested. It would kind of be like maybe going to the Ivy back then, like that sort of thing. I'd not been before, and I should have known when he told me what his job was, and that was an A-level history teacher. Can you imagine me not only like trying to sustain a conversation with an A-level history teacher, but in a relationship with an A-level history teacher.
Dream man.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh, not for me, darling.
So classics is my degree, didn't I? Stunning.
Yeah, well, I actually drunk drove that night, which we shouldn't.
Sasha.
Yeah, I'd had just one glass too many. I had to get through it.
How many did you have?
Just two.
Oh.
So
I
not
wouldn't
like
say that was drunk drive.
not reckless, but reckless for me. Come on.
True.
Anyway, turned up to the date and sat down. And bearing in mind, he'd suggested the restaurant.
I do know this
Do you know this
story.
story? Have I told it on the podcast or not?
No.
Okay, and we sat down and he said, gosh, forgot I have been here before. I was like, oh, cool, chat. When have you been here? Well, it's my ex-girlfriend's family business. Oh, nice. Is she here? Is she in the fucking kitchen about to serve my dinner up? Like, so awkward. And then he proceeded to talk about his ex-girlfriend for a really uncomfortable length of time. And then all that was kind of left to talk about was A-level history. It was the deadest date ever.
This isn't where I thought that was going.
Where did you think it was going?
I feel like you've been on a date where they didn't bring their wallet. Oh, that's somebody else.
No, that wouldn't even bother me.
No, they were like, oh, let me get this. Oh, I didn't bring my wallet.
Did you watch Love is Blind this year?
Yeah.
Did you like it? The English one?
Yeah.
I don't know why I said English, not UK.
Yeah.
So what was your opinion on that conversation between Tom and Maria about the finance? Because that was like
Weird.
dividing.
Really weird. I would always offer to split.
This is, again, dating standards, like it's a weird thing, isn't it?
My expectation is no one should pay for me. If they really want to, sure. But I'm not expecting them to pay for me. Have you been to London? It's so fucking expensive. Everyone's going on millions of first dates. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. But I remember watching it and hearing people like sort of ruminate about it and saying,
Ruminate?
Fucking hell, couple of sips of Diet Coke and look at me go.
Where did that come from?
I'm quite
Oh,
smart.
that's shocked in my voice.
Yeah, and I just thought that's fucking wild.
Wild. I think there's like a cultural thing.
Yeah, totally.
That's at play there more.
I really did love that programme. If I was single, I'd go on there. Would you go on there?
Oh, the girls did ask me this actually. No,
Why?
because I would smash the pods, and then I would have such horrendous fear of meeting them in real life that I wasn't good enough. It would be crippling. No.
But you'd probably get all past that in the pods. You get deep in there.
Yeah, but I still think like no.
Get in there good and deep alarm, boy.
It just snotted everywhere.
I don't know what film that's from.
All right, I finished my date story now. I've got over it. It's actually worse than that.
Yeah, mine was mild because I thought I'll ease you in.
The better way to ease me in would have been with a really horrendous story that mine didn't sound so bad.
Unfortunately, I don't have that, or my memory's lacking. We'll have to come back on another episode. But
Anyway, we went to Duck and Waffle. We had a very bougie dinner. The wine was flowing. The bill came. And I was like, we'll obviously go splits. He's like, no, absolutely not. Like, it's always on me. First date's always on me. And I was like, wow, it's a £400 bill. Sure, take it.
definitely a finance bro.
Definitely a finance bro. Anyway, he lived in Clapham and I lived in Richmond, and he was like, let's share a cab home. I was like, okay, yeah, perfect. I'll be from Clapham on the way. Within less than 2 minutes of being in the taxi, he was unzipping his trousers and he was like, do you want to pay me now? I was like, so sorry, I just wasn't aware I was an escort at this dinner.
No,
Yeah, and then was
fucking
fuming
didn't.
that I refused to give him a blowjob in the taxi. And I was like, all right, when you offer to pay for someone's meal, the repayment is not...
Dick.
Yeah, it's not... Actually, isn't that? Sayonara, son.
absolutely foul.
Left the cab, yeah.
How long were you that uncomfortable for in the cab?
I actually laughed. I thought he was just joking. Like, I thought he was, like, making a play as a joke.
What a pig,
And
man.
then he was just like, no, this is on. I was like, have you heard of consent? This is not it.
That's really nasty.
I actually laughed. Like, I laughed in his face.
Yeah, no, but I think we're doing that thing where we're making something humorous. It's actually a bit traumatic.
I wasn't traumatized by it because I was like,
He essentially said you're a prostitute, suck my dick.
pretty much, yeah. But the chat to the girls after was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think we should be laughing about it. That's really nasty. I hope he listens to this podcast and I hope he feels like shit. And
I actually saw him like 2 weeks later. Not for a date. Just bumped into him.
I hope no one's ever sucked his dick since. That's what
I'm
I
sure
hope.
someone has.
I don't think so.
Anyway, that's it. That's date story.
That was really juicy. And now I'm reflecting on my dead ass date story.
Yeah, yours was
so dead. There are better ones, but I feel like we've got to ease into the...
Yeah, let's wait for epi 7 or 8 for that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just really make sure that our parents don't listen to this.
Are we going to finish on a juicy Ask Us Anything?
Yeah. Every episode, we are answering some of your spilly questions that you send in. You can DM either Billie or I, or we have a Instagram page, which is a new addition, at spill.pod on TikTok. And what is it then? Say it clearer for the girls.
You weren't ruminating on that.
Ruminating. Rumination.
Let's just scrap the TikTok bit because it's too
Well,
confusing.
no, because we need people to follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, but they're not going to DM us questions on TikTok, are they?
Sure, yeah.
Go from the top on that.
So, at the end of every episode, Billie and I are answering...
That was Alex's role.
Okay. At the end of every episode, Billie and I are answering some of your spilly questions. What are you laughing at now? You stupid bitch.
I got the giggles, I can't. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Why is our Instagram handle so shit?
Because you're an idiot.
Okay.
At the end of every episode, Billie. Fucking hell.
Did you just say it all?
I can't keep laughing.
That's really bad.
Are you ready?
No.
But it's not even that funny.
No, nothing's funny. It's not awkward. Okay.
Right. At the end of every episode, Billie and I are answering some of your spilly questions that you can send in to us. You are having your fucking laugh.
It's because you're looking at me.
Where do you want me to look?
Let's just do this after. Let's just answer questions.
Okay, let's go straight into question and we'll do that after. Okay. We have a very juicy question, and it is, what do you think I should know about myself that I'm unaware of?
That's really hard because I think you're quite aware of yourself.
Yeah.
Even though, like, you can be a prick, but, like, you are aware that you are that way sometimes.
This just took a fucking sound.
You know what I mean?
Not really. What do you mean?
Don't be like that.
No, I'm joking.
So the answer to that is, what are you unaware of, though? Maybe how much you roll your eyes? You think I do it a lot, you do it more.
Do I?
Yeah. Oh, have a day off.
I think I do roll my eyes a lot. I think I'm quite aware
That's the
of
problem.
that.
I think you're quite aware of a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm quite self-aware.
Go on. Swing it over.
What are you unaware of? Well, I do like to point them out to you often, which is probably part of the prick that you're referring to.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's just when it's unprompted, I'm like, oh, right, that's where we're going today. I think I'm pretty self-aware. Oh, you would say differently?
You can be. Yeah, like you're defensive, but you know that.
Yeah, very.
I'd probably say, like, just to make it nice, you are very unaware of your beauty. Like, you are unaware of it. You are. Are you going to cry?
No.
Oh, okay.
What do you want me to?
Yeah, cry, bitch. No, yeah, you are unaware of that. Like, hugely unaware of it.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though, is it?
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's sad to see the depth of unaware you are.
Ooh,
but,
wow,
like,
you really are going for tears, aren't you?
No. Grow up. But yeah,
right, Spidey.
But yeah, that's probably what I'd say. You are unaware of that. You're aware of your bad traits. Like, you are argumentative as fuck, and you do know that.
I have a lot of opinions, yeah.
Yeah.
Really like to tell people about them.
When they
also
not
uninvited,
asked.
yeah.
Uninvited, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
That was a lot of spilling today.
Loads of spilling. I feel like we've really set the vibe and the tone for how info deep we're going.
We're going deep.
Moving forward.
Digging deep.
Right.
This is an exposing season.
Yeah, dick and waffle.
Should we just rebrand the podcast to that?
Yeah.
Season 2, Dick and Waffle.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.